Hey everyone, welcome to Hot Topics Live. It's 2 p.m. Central Time on Monday, and you guys know what that means. It's time to take 15 minutes out of your day to learn some new business tips so that you can run your home baking business just a little bit better this week. And I'm so excited to have you here today joining live. So, hello to everyone in the comments. Go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. And then again, I want to welcome all of our new members. We have several new people joining us in the group this week, and I want to welcome you. If this is your first Hot Topics Live, this is one of the greatest resources here in the group. We do a free training every Monday, and these are the same kind of tips, you guys. I share these over in my coaching program. So just by showing up here, joining this Hot Topics Live, you're getting a nice little snippet of what it's like to have a bakery coach and how to kind of grow your business little by little with these business tips that I'm sharing. So very smart of you to join today's Hot Topics Live. And then, as always, hello to our YouTube viewers streaming over on YouTube. If you like these kind of trainings, but you can't join us in the group, then go ahead and hit subscribe so that you get a little notification every Monday when I go live. If you scroll up in your YouTube comment section, you'll see the description has the link to join over here in the Facebook group if you want to be a part of the live comment section that happens here inside the group. Plus, all kinds of other goodies happen here inside the group as well. So it's a fun place to be. And this is where I share, this is really the place that I spend the most time on social media. Yes, I'm on Instagram at Better Baker Club, and I'm quite honestly, all over Pinterest these days as well. So you can follow me on any social media platform you want. I even do some TikToks sometimes when I have a little bit of extra time. But here in the Facebook group, this is the first place I share new recipes, links to trainings, webinars that I'm doing, all the ways that we can connect and you can get more inspiration for your baking business. So thank you all for being here today. And I have got a really fun little training for us today, because today we're going to be talking about what is your point of difference. How do you distinguish yourself in the home bakery scene? And I get this question a lot. How do you stand out in a crowded marketplace? So we're going to talk about this today. And I want to tell you about a way that you can learn more about this if this is your thing. If you're like, oh, good, I'm glad she's talking about this because I'm feeling a little confused. I really don't know what to focus on. I sell a little bit of everything and I feel like I need to stand out a little bit more. This is a good training for you. And I have my Slay the Season holiday planning workshop coming up tomorrow. There's still time to get registered. It is a full webinar workshop, an hour of holiday planning. I have so many amazing goodies planned that are really going to help you take action right now to have a better holiday season. So we're getting an early start. We're planning the holidays over in the workshop. I'll drop the link right now in the Hot Topics Live comment section to register if you're not already registered. And go ahead and save your seat. I do max out at a certain capacity, and I would love for you to get a seat in the Slay the Season holiday workshop. So what we're doing today is just going to be a little snippet of that. And if you find today's training interesting and you want more of that, then by all means, get yourself signed up. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to get signed up is in the description of this video. So now, I don't know if you can see behind me this little bit of a Post-it note planogram. This is all for new updates inside the Bake Better Academy. That is my membership program. You'll learn a little bit more about it on the webinar, but honestly, my workshops are full of actionable training, not a lot of fluff. I do like to tell you about how you can work with me at the end of the training. And that's what all this is. I have so many new updates going on, ways to help you sell more right now. So you're in the right place if you're trying to learn, ways that you could take action, new ideas, fresh content, stuff like that. And so today's training is a little snippet from that. So what we're talking about is really helping you to stand out in a crowded marketplace. And I just want to kind of reassure you that just by being here and working on your business, you're already miles ahead of a lot of other home-based bakers. And with no disrespect to other bakers, the big majority of bakers that are trying to sell right now are hobby bakers. There's nothing wrong with loving what you do and wanting to recuperate your costs so that you can sell your baked goods. That's awesome. That's a hobby. What I teach you how to do is to turn it into a business. And so just by being here in this group, just by showing up at these trainings, you already have that either burning desire or seed of an idea inside you that you're trying to turn this into a business. And so by being here and working on that, you're already differentiating yourself from a lot of other home-based bakers. So you can kind of give yourself a little pat on the shoulder and know that just these little steps that you're taking are going to incrementally add up to a whole lot more. But how do you stand out? What other things can you do to stand out and to point out how you're different from other bakers so that customers choose you when it's time to order their holiday sweets and treats, pies, breads, whatever it is they want? How are you going to stand out from everyone else? So the first thing I like to have you think about is if you were going to, say, put a guarantee on your product, what would it be? Would it be, I promise this is fresh? Is it made with organic ingredients? Like, what is your promise about your product? What is one thing that you will never compromise? So think about that, and you might have something that comes right to your mind. So when I was selling my cupcakes in my cupcake store, my guarantee was that everything was baked fresh every day. That was the one thing that I would not compromise. So I never took yesterday's cupcakes and put them out again the next day. If that's your thing, that's okay. No judgment there. But my thing was always fresh, and no negotiating that one. And why did I decide to do that? I really wanted my customers to have more shelf life at home. I didn't want to take up their shelf life by reusing it. I wanted them to buy it and still have it taste good 3 or 4 or 5 days later. So that was my guarantee. Always fresh. So what is your guarantee? What's the one thing that you're like, that I won't do? Is it, like I said, is it organic ingredients? Is it artificial ingredients? You want to kind of think about your brand that way and start to talk about that one thing that you won't do. And if you don't have a one thing yet, start to think about that. Open your mind to finding that one thing. So I really feel like when you ask your brain that, it's going to start to work on finding the answer for you. So really give yourself the challenge of identify that one thing for you. Okay, now you want to talk about how you are different. So in the scenario of my cupcake store, my guarantee was that it was fresh every day. But what made me different was that my menu changed every day. I know, I set myself up for so much work, but I did figure out a really good way to do it. So 10 flavors stayed the same every day. 2 flavors changed every day. So my customers knew that every day that they came into my shop, they could count on having 2 different flavors going on, plus those 10 that were like non-negotiables for them. They were like, I gotta have these top 10 flavors. And then these 2 made it fun every day. Like every Thursday you'd have Java Junkie and Curious George. I always made really fun names for my cupcakes too. That may be your point of distinction. But the thing that makes you different, how do you do your bakery just a little bit differently than other people? So I want you to think about that one too. So number one, we're thinking about your guarantee. that's a thing that you're not going to negotiate. But your point of differentiation or your point of difference is, how do you do that just a little bit differently than other people? So you're really getting clear on telling people what it's like to eat your products or to order from you or to choose you as their baker. Now, the third thing is what distinguishes you. So these are all slightly subtle differences on it. And so for me, what distinguished me in my cupcake shop, I mentioned it a second ago, was I always had really fun names for my cupcakes. And I love it when I see bakers do that too. It's not everybody's style, but for me, I wanted super fun and playful names for my cupcakes. So that was kind of what differentiated me, was the vibe. I guess you could call it that in today's terms. You would call it like, what's your vibe, right? So my vibe was like super fun and playful. And I would like give my cupcakes these names. And then, you guys, this is kind of silly, but this is like how much I loved my cupcakes. I actually gave them personalities too. So like, for example, my lemon cupcake is called I Love Lemon. And because people don't sort of like lemon, they either don't like lemon or they freaking love lemon. And so this cupcake was for those people. If you love lemon, then the I Love Lemon cupcake is for you. And who was I Love Lemon? Oh, she's a cute little old English lady who loves to read and drink tea and has cats at her feet at all times. And that was I Love Lemon. She was like the queen of our cupcakes. So that was my point of distinction. Like, that was my vibe, is all of my cupcakes had flavors. And, red velvet. She was a very sophisticated lady who, might have dated a few of the other cupcakes in the shop. We're not going to say. Anyway, it was fun. It was playful. And it was a very kind of, tongue-in-cheek, I guess you could say. So all that went into developing what the feel was. But my customers wouldn't know that unless I was able to communicate it to them. So I did in all of my branding, all of my marketing, even my logo: fun, retro, colorful, playful. That was the vibe. Now, all that being said, how can you apply that to your own bakery and really make yourself stand out? Because just from telling you what I did about my own point of distinction, you can almost start to get a feel for what that bakery is like. We wanted male customers. We wanted female customers. We wanted everybody to feel at home there. My slogan was, "This ain't no fake cake." And if you have watched any of my previous videos where I talk about my brand and all that, you can kind of, learn a little bit more about why that was my slogan. But this is what I want for you, is for you to kind of develop your home bakery brand, so that when somebody tries to remember, who's that baker that we ordered those delicious brownies from, boom, you got a brand that stands out to them. So when you are looking at other home bakers on Facebook, on Instagram, Marketplace, wherever you're kind of looking around, is somebody standing out as being memorable? Do they have a style, a brand, a personal guarantee that really makes them memorable? That's what you want, so that your customers can find you and choose you. All right, so let's recap. There's subtle differences. So let me try to recap them in a way that's going to help you work through these in your own brand. First, it's your guarantee. This is your non-negotiable. I won't do that. So think about what it absolutely has to be for you. For me, it was fresh every day. I actually had several. So my other one was, I never used a mix. And that was my own personal, but the one I really put up there was fresh every day, because that mattered to my customers. I honestly, I think some of them would have been okay with a cake mix, but that was my personal thing. So the one I advertised and, put out there was that it's fresh every day. That was my guarantee. So think about what yours is. You probably have a lot. What's the most important one to your customers? All right. Next is how are you different? So if you say, I'm going to use organic for this example, if you were to say, I only use organic ingredients, and then there's another baker who says, I only need organic ingredients, this is why we drill down a little deeper and say, how are you different? So in my example, I said my cupcake flavors changed every day. So if you had another baker who had the same guarantee as you, what would make you different from them? So think about that one. And then I said, what distinguishes you? I almost want to recall that, rename that, what's your vibe, and kind of talk about that. So that is just the sort of the way that you tell your story. Mine was fun and playful. Yours might be minimalist and, simple, whatever it is. You need to kind of hone in on it. You might not have it right now. You can totally invent it. You can just make it whatever you want it to be and start to incorporate that into your branding, your messaging, your social media, your graphics, and the way you talk about your business, so that you begin to stand out in a crowded marketplace from other home-based bakers. All right, we are at our 15-minute mark, so that's our Hot Topics training for today. Let me know in the comments if you had sort of a light bulb moment as we were going through today's training. I always like to know what clicked for you, what made sense, and what made you say, oh, I'm totally going to try that this week. And if you want more training like this, then go ahead and sign up for the Slay the Season Holiday Workshop. We're going to go deep into not just your brand and how you talk about yourself, but there's so much going on in that workshop. There might even be a cool freebie for those who attend, like a really cool freebie. So go ahead and get yourself signed up. And just to answer the question before you ask it, if you can't make the workshop tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, yes, it will be recorded. All you have to do is sign up now. That puts you on the email list that gets the replay the next day. So a lot of people like the replay just because it's so jam-packed with information that you can go back and watch it again and take the notes. But life happens, things come up, and if you can't make it, then the replay goes out the next day and you'll get all of the same benefit from the training. So I'd love to see you there. But if you can't make it, thank you for joining today's Hot Topics Live. And I will see you guys next week, same time, same place. Bye for now, everyone.